Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something truly mind-bending, the arc of modern human societal flourishing. We're going to explore how our historical, deeply human pursuit of knowledge has evolved from ancient philosophical frameworks into what we can really only describe today as a massive, fully integrated digital nervous system for the entire planet.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Our baseline begins with the absolute optimum environmental conditions where human societies have historically thrived. For millennia, our ability to flourish was pretty much at the mercy of geography and climate. We were anchored to these distinct green bands across the globe where the mean annual temperature was just right to allow agriculture, trade, and ultimately human knowledge to really take root and grow.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the baseline of flourishing, trace the evolution of AI and the generative AI boom. Then we'll check out the Internet of Things, photonics, and finally wrap up with the ethical frontier.
Section 1. The Baseline of Flourishing, Anchoring Human Knowledge.
We really need to see how humanity transitioned from merely surviving in those ideal geographic bands we just talked about to actively structuring and categorizing our understanding of the world. This historic map of the system of human knowledge is just absolutely beautiful. It divides all human understanding into three massive pillars: memory, reason, and imagination. It's essentially humanity's original biological framework for processing complex information. It perfectly captures our innate desire to categorize the whole universe, from natural history and logic all the way over to philosophy and poetry.
But as you know, human flourishing is never static. Our fundamental drive to solve increasingly complex problems, to really push the boundaries of that beautiful ancient map, well, it meant we had to evolve. We needed to process information way faster and at a scale our biological reasoning simply couldn't handle anymore. And that exact necessity? It birthed the whole concept of artificial machine-based logic. Basically, we realized we needed to build an artificial brain.
Section 2. Evolution of Artificial Intelligence, Building the Digital Brain. Constructing the brain of our modern societal system definitely wasn't an overnight success. It was a profound journey full of massive paradigm shifts and, frankly, periods of intense struggle. We can literally trace the neural pathways of this digital brain forming. It kicks off in 1950 with Alan Turing's famous imitation test, asking the huge question, can machines think? By 1956, at the Dartmouth Conference, the term artificial intelligence was officially coined. But then, the 1970s hit, the AI winter. This was a notoriously tough period where development just ground to a halt because the tech simply wasn't there yet. It really wasn't until the 1990s that the winner finally thought, paving the way for a monumental shift from that early, rigid, symbolic AI to the incredible machine learning and deep learning models of the 2010s. Welcome to the AI Spring.
Section 3. The Generative AI Boom, Accelerating Intelligence.
The leap from that AI spring into our current generative AI era is explosive. It is unprecedented and moving at an absolute breakneck speed. $324.68 billion. That is the staggering projection for the global generative AI market size by the year 2033. It's almost hard to wrap your head around, right? But it perfectly demonstrates the massive economic scale and the sheer value society is placing on this newly developed digital brain. We are going all in globally on this technology.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the market is actually structured for 2025. The software segment completely dominates, pulling in about 64.1% of the revenue. That's your advanced machine learning models out there writing code, designing clothing, streamlining daily workflows. But do not sleep on that 35.9% for services. That slice of the pie is expanding so rapidly because, as this brain gets smarter, organizations desperately need cloud-based services for data protection, fraud detection, and running really complex risk models.
And the pace is just phenomenal. We are looking at an unbelievable 40.8% compound annual growth rate between 2026 and 2033. This insane growth is heavily fueled by scalable cloud storage, which is great because it lets businesses train these massive, power-hungry AI models without having to buy their own server farms, and it's driving rapid adoption across the board. Entire industries, like media and entertainment, and banking, financial services, and insurance, are literally transforming their core operations overnight with this tech.
To really get how it's doing all this, we have to pop the hood and look at the two leading technologies driving this boom: transformers and diffusion networks. Transformers use what's called a self-attention mechanism to process and master just mountains of text data. They are completely revolutionizing natural language processing, making chatbots and virtual assistants sound incredibly, sometimes eerily human. Diffusion networks, on the other hand, cater to the creative side. They work by progressively taking static noise and refining it into stunning, high-quality images and video. So you've got two very different technologies working together to form one incredibly powerful digital brain.
Section 4. Building the Internet of Things, the Senses of Society.
So, okay, we have the brain, but a brain just floating isolated in a jar isn't doing anyone much good, is it? We need a vast network of physical devices gathering real-time data from all over the world to actually feed that intelligence. And this is exactly where human flourishing gets deeply physically integrated with our environment. The Internet of Things is turning everyday objects into programmable sensors. Just imagine it. Your smart home is automatically tweaking the AC for energy efficiency. Your wearables are keeping a real-time check on your vitals. Precision agriculture is out there using soil analytics to maximize crop yields, all while autonomous vehicles are navigating via real-time logistics tracking and constant environmental monitoring. Literally everything is getting connected to optimize human life and push economic growth forward.
Section 5. Photonics, the digital nerves.
Now think about this logically for a second. To seamlessly connect a massive AI brain in the cloud with billions of IoT sensors scattered across the planet, we need a physical nervous system that is incredibly fast and ultra-secure. To pull this off, we rely on integrated photonic circuits. Instead of just pushing standard electrical electrons around, these chips use actual particles of light, photons, to transmit data. It's like lightning in a bottle. This is how we can securely and instantly move immense volumes of 5G data across the globe, sometimes hitting round-trip latencies of just 1 millisecond or less. It is the ultimate digital nervous system.
So the absolutely crucial hardware imperative to make all this work is what we call low swap. That stands for size, weight, and power. By integrating photonics, we can drastically reduce the energy consumption required for these massive global data transfers. And that is non-negotiable, right? It ensures we can scale this incredible global intelligence network without completely overwhelming and draining the world's power grids.
Section 6. The Ethical Frontier. Wielding the Power.
Now, let's take a breath here. Building a fully integrated digital society is an awe-inspiring technical achievement, no doubt about it. But it demands some really serious reflection on the governance and responsibilities required to actually manage it. As the research points out, and I quote, "With great power comes great responsibility." As AI capabilities burgeon, ethical considerations and the need for robust governance mechanisms become imperative. It's just the reality of dealing with tools this powerful. Across all of these integrated systems, society has to figure out how to proactively handle vital issues. We're talking algorithm bias, potential job displacement, and the absolute necessity of data transparency, all while trying to maintain that core historical drive towards societal flourishing.
Which leaves us with a pretty profound thought to ponder as we wrap up today. As we rapidly approach the horizons of artificial general intelligence and a truly globally pervasive Internet of Things, how will humanity balance this boundless potential with real accountability and responsible governance? Can we ensure that this ultimate digital nervous system truly guarantees modern human societal flourishing for everyone? It might just be the most important question of our era. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the world around you.